I know this.
Slipped out of this guy. You can carry him back in if you need to. Hey, hold on. How do you slip out? Do we need a different collar?
I think I just hit the clasp on it there. That was just my...
But yeah, when you bring him out, just like let him come to the end of the leash and just chat with him. Just make sure you got a leash.
Hey, cool it. Cool it. Hey.
Oh, he's on a stick leash, eh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you're fine.
They just leave the leash nice and loose kind of thing.
Okay. There we
No,
go.
we'll just go walk. It's fine.
You good?
Oh yeah, you is.
Yeah, not the head.
We'll just go walk this way kind of thing. And stuff.
Come.
But yeah, that's like, he kind of grabs on, but he's not super committed or anything like that.
No, he just nips you.
Definitely a good nip, like that would definitely do some damage, like if it wanted to.
Well, thank you. You got me.
Your sweater.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just out here with Chester for a morning potty and a walk here. Sorry about the wind, I don't have my mic on. I'm trying to be as clear as I can through the mic. So we are just on our first real day with Chester. He got dropped off yesterday in the afternoon, and so we're just here with him for the first full day. So we're starting off just with a nice long line walk flexi leash. It's got a slip leash on attached to the end of it. It's not maybe the safest setup, but it's what we're going with. You got him on a flexi leash so you can really roam and just explore the property a little bit. Looks like something was laying down here last night. So you can explore the property a little bit and just kind of roam and have his own little freedom. And we have a very nice property for this kind of thing here. I think this is crucial for behavior modification, is to have an area where you can get the dog to open up and relax out on a long line, let them explore a little bit. Very natural kind of setting to introduce a dog to a new person or a new environment on a long line or off leash, and in a natural area, you know, in the woods, on a trail, somewhere the dog can actually explore and be a dog. This is like the #1 way we deal with any kind of behavior modification. And if you look at the video of when Chester got dropped off, he's a serious dog. He will really bite and do damage. He has done serious damage. He's with me for, you know, he's going to be here for at least 5 weeks or more for sure. You know, he'll probably be here for longer than that if I'm honest. We'll kind of see where we go with him. But with that being said, if you look at the video of how he was when he got dropped off versus even right now what we're doing, many trainers would just not do this. You know, they just would not. Again, something's bedding down in here. They wouldn't bring the dog out without a muzzle on a long line. They don't have this kind of area for the dog to roam and just be a dog. Many trainers don't have access to this kind of environment, which doesn't make their environment suitable, in my opinion, for a lot of proper behavior modification to occur. So again, like my steps, our approach to this kind of dog is not going to be put a muzzle on him, bring him out of the kennel with a catch pole on, sit in a chair and toss food to him like so many other trainers would do. How many trainers do you think watching the video of his drop-off would go right to a protocol of just bringing the dog in to a room, probably with a muzzle on, and just sitting down in a chair on the floor and just throwing food at it until they think it got comfortable with them? How many trainers would take that approach? And it's not a good approach with a dog, especially a dog like this, where it's, you know, a lot of what we're dealing with is just genetics too, right? Good boy, come on. So it's kind of one of those things where that approach can make all the difference. That environment you bring the dog into to do this kind of thing can make all of the difference as well. So just things to consider if you have a dog that needs behavior modification. Things to consider with the trainer you choose, what methods they're using, and how they first approach that situation is also important, right? So again, you watch the video of Chester's initial drop-off, which I'll put at the beginning of this video. Some serious aggression, some serious forward aggression, and you know, many trainers, again, would start that off entirely different, right? I had my bite suit on, I let him come at me and bite me. Many trainers would have a muzzle on the dog, and they would take the leash and immediately try to get control of the dog to show the dog who's boss in that situation or something like that, you know? That classic balance trainer style of working with the dog, or just taking the leash right from the handler and, again, getting the dog under some sort of control to show the owner that you can do that, you know? Just trying to show off for the owner a lot of times. And it's just not what we do, you know? I want to see the dog's real intentions. I want to let the dog know that it's just not going to have the desired effect that it wants on myself or the owner on drop-off. And then we just hang out with the dog, you know? We went for a 30-minute, 40-minute walk with the owner around the property with the dog on a leash and me in the bite suit, and everything went great. And it's just like the way you begin these things can make all the difference. Again, if you begin this kind of a training program by suppressing the dog immediately for that aggressive response at the beginning, sure, I bet the dog might not show aggression with you throughout that program, but it's because you just suppressed it in that moment and the dog's no longer comfortable to be its real self around you. And that's what a lot of trainers, a lot of balance trainers achieve that result. They suppress the behavior in their presence, but as soon as the dog is out of their presence or back with the owner who doesn't have the same control, who doesn't have the same knowledge and skill, quotation marks around that, knowledge and skill, as the person that trained the dog doesn't have the same ability to influence it in that way, things will regress very quickly because they haven't actually changed the behavior. They've just suppressed it, and they did it right when they got the dog, right when you got the hands on the dog. You know, it just totally changes the way the training program is going to go. And you may see what look like results, especially early on. And again, that's why many trainers will do that style of, I used to do it, just as a full disclaimer, you know, I used to do that kind of thing and realized very quickly, within a year or two, that it just does not work. It doesn't leave lasting results. It's showing off for the owner a lot of times. You know, again, you take control of the dog, you show them that you can stop the aggression there and then. And it's just not a good approach to take, especially with real behavior modification. You know, maybe if we're dealing with like just a bratty dog and there's like, you know, just something that we can quickly kind of, you know, put a stop to it. There are cases where there are situations where that's the case, but that's not really behavior modification, and that's not really, you know, what we're talking about here. We're talking about real aggression, real behavior issues, right? Anyway, that's just kind of me rambling about our approach here with Chester and how we begin this training program. We just take him out for a long walk in a natural environment. Let him be a dog, you know. You know, he hasn't been able to do this in a little while. His owners live, well, they don't live in like a big city, but they live in a community. He's not on a big property, so he probably doesn't get out as much as he could or needs to be free and off leash. It can be a huge part of our program is getting him out and about off leash and new environments and experiencing a bit more freedom, natural freedom that this breed especially really needs. So anyway, we're going to bring him back inside and get him fed and we'll go from there. But hopefully this was helpful for people that are either looking to get their dog trained in some behavior modification or are doing behavior modification. Maybe this will give you a bit of a different outlook. So anyway, enjoy.